All right, dentists, let's talk about the ultimate goal for any practice owner. It's the dream that we all have when we first buy our practice to build a business that runs so smoothly, so predictably, and so profitable that it doesn't actually need you there every single second of every single day. The reality for most owners, however, is the exact opposite. They are a prisoner of their own practice, constantly putting out fires and feeling like if they take the day off, the whole thing will just fall apart. If you've ever felt that way, if you dream about being able to take a 2-week vacation without checking your email every 5 minutes, or if you're thinking about expanding to a second location, then this video is for you. My perspective is that getting a practice to run without you, it's just not magic. It's a direct result of implementing a few critical systems that allow you to manage and keep your eyes on things without having to physically be there. Today, I'm going to give you the 3 essential systems that I have used to scale and manage multiple practices, often with just a few hours a week of focused management time. Now, by the end of this video, you're going to have a clear, actionable playbook to start building a practice that serves you and not the other way around. Now, this entire concept is built on 3 key systems. The first is a way to track what your team is actually doing every day. The second is a system for submitting and reviewing critical daily information. And the third, and this is the one that ties it all together, is a system for seamless communication. But first, a quick story. When I had my first 1 or 2 practices, all of my management systems were based on me being physically present. I could walk around, I could look over people's shoulders, I could have hallway conversations. My systems worked really well because I was the system. But the moment I expanded to 3 or more practices, all of those systems completely broke down. It was no longer physically possible for me to be at each location every day, to audit and to keep my eye on things. I had to evolve, or I was going to fail. This forced me to develop a new way of managing from a distance. And these are the 3 systems that came out of that trial by fire. The first and most foundational system that you must have is a digitized task list. So much of managing a practice without you being there is able to still be able to see what's happening. You need a way to know at a glance who on your team is completing all of their daily, weekly, and monthly tasks, and more importantly, who is not. This isn't about micromanaging, it's about accountability and early detection of problems. If a system is starting to fail, you'll see it first in the tasks that are being missed. There are a lot of ways to set this up, but I would strongly recommend doing it in the simplest way possible, at least at first. The goal is that you need to be able to click one link, look at one dashboard, and see everything that everyone is supposed to be doing and whether it got done. A simple Google Sheet can work wonders here. You can create a tab for each team member with a checklist for the recurring tasks. For example, your front office person might have daily tasks like check insurance eligibility for patients 2 days out, or send end of day report and run the deposit. They would simply check off each item as it's completed. This gives you a quick visual way to see if the core functions of the practice are happening. Now, if you want to get more sophisticated and more hands-off, you probably need to graduate to a dedicated task management software. I've used Monday.com before, and it's been fantastic for this. With a software like this, you can create automated recurring tasks for each member, but the real power is in the notifications. You can set it up so that if a critical task like run the weekly spore test is marked as overdue, it can automatically send you an email or notification. This is a game changer. It means you no longer have to proactively go looking for problems. You can set up your system and your software will only alert you when something is wrong. If you don't get a notification, you can rest easy knowing that things are rolling along just like they should be. This one system alone can free up an incredible amount of your mental energy. Okay, so a digitized task list is a great start for tracking the completion of routine tasks. However, there are plenty of other critical pieces of information that need to be submitted and reviewed that are more complex than a simple, was this done or not? And this brings us to our second essential system, Google Form entries for submitting things. You need a simple, standardized, and permanent way for your team to submit critical daily information and for you to easily review it. For example, your end-of-day financial reports or your daily bank deposit slips. In the old days, this would just be a pile of paper left on your desk, which is a mess and impossible to manage remotely. Instead, you can create a simple Google form for each of these submissions. Let's take the end of day report. Your office manager can fill out a simple form with fields for total production, total collections and adjustments, They can scan the detailed printed report into a single PDF and upload it directly to that form entry. The same thing can be done with your daily deposit slips. This is a fantastic system because every single time an entry is made on a Google form, it automatically outputs all that data into a Google spreadsheet. This means that you have an ongoing, permanent, time-stamped record of every single submission ever made, which is incredibly powerful for tracking trends and for long-term record keeping. Another great example is spore testing. You can have a form where your team member selects the date that they ran the test, and they have to attach a picture of the spore test before they drop it in the mail. This is a fantastic tool for compliance, and it gives you proof that it was done correctly, even if it's lost in the mail. You can use this for anything where you want proof or more specific details. I even have a simple form set up for patient refund requests. When a refund is needed, my team fills out the form with the patient's details and the reason. It all goes into a spreadsheet. Then once a week when I'm paying bills, I just pull up that spreadsheet, see the refunds that are needed, and I take care of them all at once. It's an incredibly efficient way to manage these small but important details without things slipping through the cracks. Now, for our third and final system, the one that ties everything together, the next thing that is absolutely essential to run a practice without you actually being there is making sure that you have a great internal communication software. A simple solution like Google Chat works great, or you can use something like Slack or a similar platform. The simpler the solution is for your team to adopt, the better. However, you absolutely must have a method for communicating with your team members when you're not in the office. Let's say you're reviewing your task management software on your CEO day, and you notice that a critical step was missed. Or you're looking at a Google Form submission and you see that a patient's chart wasn't completed correctly. You cannot simply wait until you're in the office next Tuesday to talk with them about it. The issue needs to be addressed right then and there, when it's fresh. By using a chat solution, you can immediately send a direct message to that team member. You can mention them, you can attach a screenshot, and you can give them clear, immediate feedback. Once you've sent the message, you're done. You can move on to your next task. You don't have to keep a running mental list of all the little things that you need to talk to each person when you see them next in the future. This frees up so much mental bandwidth and allows you to manage in real time from anywhere. It creates a culture of clear communication and immediate accountability. These are three of the more critical systems that you need to implement in order to run your practice without you even being there. First is a digitized task list to ensure accountability. Second, a form-based submission system for data and documentation. And third, a robust communication software to tie it all together. Using systems like these, I've been able to run many practices without needing to be in the office every day. And if you get this really dialed in, if you truly commit to managing through systems instead of just your physical presence, you can run a highly profitable and successful group of practices on just half a day a week of focused management time. This is what creates true freedom as a practice owner. It frees up your time to work on high-level growth, to look at expansion opportunities, or simply to spend more time with your family, all while knowing that your practice is running smoothly and predictably without you. Now, if you found this advice to be valuable and you want more straightforward strategies to improve your practice, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What is one system in your practice right now that you feel is the most broken or needs the most attention? Let's keep working together to make dentistry fun, fulfilling, and rewarding. Subscribe so you don't miss the next strategy, and I'll see you soon.